What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 36 of C4SVillains. I am your host JB and I am here as always with the Council of Villains, my boys Abe and Steve. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode.
Let's go.
Yeah. What's good, baby? Mic check 1 2 1 2.
I'm ready to discuss something very problematic this week, man. I didn't like I didn't like that announcement.
Yeah, we have a few things to talk about tonight. We're going to be talking about Russel T. Davies coming back as the showrunner of Doctor Who. We're going to be talking about the Mario animated movie news and the casting with Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, and the rest of the cast. We're going to talk about all of that stuff. A piece of news that just dropped a couple hours earlier today. Marvel is suing the comic book creators, the heirs of the comic book creators, over the rights of several Marvel characters such as Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, Black Widow, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. And then we're going to be talking about What If Episode 7, doing a full breakdown on what if Thor were an only child, which was a really, really fun and a really good episode. Really, really great shots in there as well. So yeah, stacked episode. Is going to be a pretty chill episode. We have a lot of great stuff to talk about tonight. But before we get into the news topics, what have you guys been watching? How you guys been?
Hit him, Steve. Hit him, Steve.
I'm gonna say I've been good this week because last week you guys talked me into it. So I watched 3 seasons of The Flash.
Yes.
On CW, the first 3 seasons, and I'm not gonna lie, it was good. You guys got me. So I'll go ahead and get on to this Green Arrow, especially because they kept doing the crossover episodes. So I was like, now I have no choice but to watch these other ones. I was like, they knew what they were doing. And they got me to watch The Flash. So, but yeah, it was fucking good. I like Thorn was really good. I liked Professor Zoom. And then I wasn't shocked by the reveal of Savitar. I had a feeling. You know what I'm saying? I had a feeling. I was like, it's probably him. And then
if you know comics, it's so obvious. First of all, the Blue Lightning, the fact that he knows everything about Barry, it's like it's future Flash. We just read that in New 52. So it's like
yeah, as soon as like I had already had this like, oh yeah, I think it's Flash, but like 3 episodes in. And then like 5 episodes before it was even revealed, they started like dropping too many hints. I was like, okay, they're giving it away at this point. So I was like, yeah, it's Flash. But yeah.
Hey, what about you, man? What have you been watching?
I'm on episode 8. I just finished episode 8 of Squid Game, so 1 more episode to go.
Sick.
I am really excited for it. I've been enjoying it. And then just watching horror movies, trying to get myself ready for October. Aside from that, I need to go catch up on some of my summer season anime. And of course, I'm watching college football and NFL. Like, hey, Rams house, baby. Rams house. We got Tampa Bay on Sunday. I'm excited for that. After we took care of the Colts. We took care of the Colts last week. What's good, baby? What's good, Steve?
We should have. And
I'm excited.
We should have.
Yeah, you would have been upset.
I wouldn't have minded. I wouldn't have minded.
I mean, you would have been known as a loser.
Okay? I am a loser. I'm a fucking.
All right. Well, then I don't need to remind you that. I don't need to remind you of that. That being said, it's been a great week. I'm actually playing Black in fantasy this week. Unfortunately, one of my MVPs got hurt, so it's like it gives him a fighting chance. I wanted to blow his ass out. And the way I see it is that it was me. It's karma. CMC getting hurt, you guys, is karma, because I knew I was playing him, and Black is a huge Raiders fan, right? I then decided to pick up three Raiders from the waiver wires to start against them. Derek Carr, the defense, and the kicker. I was like, they're playing Miami. Miami, it doesn't have Tua. This will be fun. And why not beat the Raiders fan with some of his Raiders players, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then CMC got hurt, and I'm like, sometimes it doesn't pay to be petty, you guys. Sometimes it doesn't pay. But we'll see. The story is still to be written. I can still whip his ass. We'll find out at the Sunday night because we're done by Sunday. So I'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me. I've been watching Fresh Off the Boat. Been watching Kim's Convenience.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. If you haven't seen Kim's Convenience too, it's so funny.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's so funny, guys. Oh my god. I've also been
on Netflix, right?
Yeah, Kim's Convenience is on Netflix, and Fresh Off the Boat's on Hulu. Two
yeah.
really funny shows.
I was week to week on Fresh Off the Boat for the longest. It's hilarious, bro.
Yeah, I miss the wave. I'm usually like that with sitcoms. Like I usually like waiting for them to like build up so I can binge. Because once I get attached, like I can't like stop watching.
Yeah.
I started Kim's Convenience, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago. We're already on like the last 3 episodes. So we started Fresh Off the Boat so that we don't have to watch the end of Kim's Convenience. Because it's over, you know what I mean? Like
you don't want to let it go.
Yeah, I don't want to let it go. We did the same thing for like Sons of Anarchy. We still haven't seen the season finale. We're waiting for The Witcher season 2 to come out before we watch the season finale of the first season of The Witcher.
Oh, okay.
But
I always do that though, like watch the finale before the next season, so I can have like a little refresher.
Oh, and Steve, yeah, the one with the levitation cloak is the Zombie Hunter Spidey. Yeah, that's coming in. Yeah, that's January though. It releases in January.
Yeah. Go ahead, JB.
Yeah. Besides that, been catching up on the Alien comic. Issue 7 dropped this week. Starts a completely new arc of the series. Absolutely
is that a 12-issue series, or this is like their first official? We probably gonna keep going until.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna keep going.
Because I was thinking like, I thought it was going to be a limited series, so I'll wait for it to wrap up. But you just said they're starting a new arc in issue 7. I'm like, oh, no, this sounds like a long bet. Let me hop on that shit. I need to get on that wave immediately.
Yeah, no spoilers, but a ship of xenomorphs lands on a planet that's being terraformed, and shit ensues. So yeah, it's lit. Also read the latest issue of The Conjuring, The Lover. That series is really good if you're into horror. It's a prequel series to The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. It also has like side stories giving you like backstory into some of the other artifacts in the Warrens' vault. So that's really cool. So if you are into horror at all, if you're into the Conjuring universe, definitely check out The Conjuring, The Lover, because next month in October, like midway in October, is going to be the very last issue. So definitely want to check that out. It's really good. But yeah, that's what I've been reading and watching. Yeah,
man, like I spent the whole time just binging the Flash.
I'm just glad you got to see the good season before everything went to hell.
Yeah,
I almost want you to watch season 4 just so you can see how far it's fallen from its previous.
Who was the big bad of season 4?
The Thinker. See, he doesn't even remember. That's how unforgettable and terrible it was. He doesn't even remember.
And the Thinker was Mark Hamill, right?
No, the Thinker was, I can't remember the actor's name. I feel terrible right now. But yeah, Mark Hamill was the Jester, I think, or was it the Jester? I can't remember.
I thought it was like the Thinker, and the Thinker, like he was like the predecessor or something like that.
Nah,
Mark Hamill was really damn good. But I mean, he's always good.
The Trickster, not the Jester.
The Trickster. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because he played the Trickster on the Flash TV show in the 90s too.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, he was really fucking good. And the only person right now that I don't really care for is the person that's playing Wally. I think he sucks.
I mean, no, it's just because they made Wally suck. They made the character.
Oh, okay.
Crap. It's the writers. It's not him. Same thing with Jessie too. Jessie Quick, she fucking sucks, but it's because she's written terribly.
I hated both of them. I was like, just focus on the Flash. Let's just. This is
why when Vinvincible dropped a tweet earlier this week about like what was one of the biggest mistakes in comics, it was bringing back Barry Allen. They should have let him stay dead.
I don't agree.
They did. I fully agree, because once they brought him back, they decided to regress all the great work they've done with Wally and to focus again on Barry once more, because
That's
that
fair.
Jeff Johns and Mark Waid run of Wally was the best Wally stories we've ever had. And like, now Wally is younger and whatnot. He's back to being a sidekick. After we've gotten
Kind
so
of.
many issues of him being like the main guy, the next in line, and honestly, a stronger Flash, a more understanding Flash when it comes to the Speed Force than Barry. We were getting new stories, and now we're back to Barry, and it's led to so much more attention on Barry, as you can see, even with a show like The Flash, where other characters are being ruined. It's like, come on. It was mentioned. Wally's getting that Gohan treatment low key, and it is bothering.
He is.
It's bothering me.
He
It's
is.
bothering me. That's unacceptable.
Yeah,
But I love Barry, man. Like, Barry's my favorite speedster.
Yeah, I was loving. I
Barry
love
has great stories,
The
and
actor
he's
in him is dope too. Like,
and he's easily the most heroic, speedster for what he did in Crisis. But like, dead and gone, dead and gone. just let
I mean,
Superdogs
Supergirl died too, but they brought her back.
Yeah, but how much attention do they give Supergirl in response to Superman? I mean, come on now, I mean, that's why I like what they're doing with John Kent, is that they're making an effort to focus more on John Kent. I know Super Sons was a murky issue financially. I thought I enjoyed the stories, but I know it didn't make as much money as projected, and so it was on and off again. I haven't peeped the new ones where they kind of aged up John and they're truly prepping him for the mantle, but I do enjoy the attention to the Superman family that DC has been doing as of late, like giving us more of the other Superman characters, because like, there's only so many stories you can tell with Clark that you have. I mean, he's the oldest. Him and Batman are the oldest in comic book history when it comes to DC. They are the first two. Like, that's dating back to the Great Depression years, even before then. And especially I like what they're doing with Superman and the Authority and the new storyline with Mongol that's coming up, because I read a Screen Rant article and I love what they had to say. Like, the issue with Superman that DC has had is that he becomes his most interesting when they make him evil. And it's like, but we know that's not Superman, right? Mm-hmm. So with this new storyline with Mongol, it's like, this is Superman still being good, but working with more shady, like a shoot, bang, bang, don't ask questions ever type characters, because that's what the Authority, his new group that he's gonna bring with him to World War, and it's something that he understands. He's like, look, I need killers if I'm gonna see this new revised Mongol, who's supposed to be the way they're advertising this is going to be the most interesting and the strongest iteration of Mongol we've had in DC. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that. So shout out to them easing up focus, but that's why Barry has to stay dead. He should have stayed dead.
Did you watch did you watch Krypton? Sorry.
I did. I watched the first part.
Nah.
It drew me in, but then it kind of kept losing me. I do want to go back to it because the first season was Brainiac. They were introducing Brainiac and basically telling you how Brainiac was supposedly going to get Krypton, and that interests me, because how can you tell a good Brainiac story without being like, hey, so we need the Justice League in here because Brainiac is that OP? It's like, nah, let's get this depiction. I didn't finish that season, and then I know they brought Lobo in, and I like the character design. I might go back just to catch up, but I heard it got canceled after 2 seasons, so it's like.
I mean, I barely care about Superman. I definitely don't care about his granddad. Like, I don't care at all. That's why I didn't watch the show. I just don't care.
Fair enough.
Whereas this Superman fanboy over here will give Batman shows their due diligence, but
hey, I am watching Superman and Lois right now.
That tells you how elitist these Batman fans are, y'all.
Superman and Lois is really good. I will sing its praises. Go check it out.
How much money were you paid to say that?
None. I wish I was paid money by DC to say that. But Steve, how would you rank the first 3 seasons of The Flash?
Season one, a 9. Season 2, like an 8.3 ish, because I really was into the whole Zoom Jay Garrick thing that they tried to play. I thought that was really dope. Even though we knew that he was going under a fake name, fake alias, and he was Hunter Zalman. Because as soon as he said, "Yo, this is my my doppelganger, this Hunter Zalman," I was like, "Wait a minute, I know that name." I was like, I know that name. That's not right. I was like, so then, yeah, but like, I thought it was cool how they tried to do that. It kind of gave me that, like the King the Conqueror, the what's it called? Jonathan Major's character at the fucking end of Loki. I forgot.
He Who Remains.
Yeah, He Who Remains. How he was He Who Remains and his King the Conqueror variant. I was like, oh, okay, I see what they're trying to do there. So it kind of gave me that feeling. So yeah, I gave that one like 8.5, 8.3s. And then this last one, there was some Wally, Jesse Quick things that I didn't enjoy. But for the most part, I really enjoy Savitar. I enjoyed the Gorilla Grodd moments a lot. I was like, okay, this is about to get really good.
Do you like Julian? Did you like Julian as a character?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't mind that either. Like
I told you the Gorilla Grodd ones were gonna be good.
Really?
Yeah, the Gorilla Grodd moments were really fucking good. I was like, yo, this is actually turning out pretty good. And then like I liked when they had did the King Shark little joints that they did. Like the first one, it was like, okay, that was quick and they kind of got rid of it. But the second time, it was like, oh, okay. So now we're gonna get the King Shark like return, I guess, for a second. And I think that was the reveal of when they revealed that it was Jay Garrick as well on the same episode. So I was like, okay, it's pretty dope. So Flash was like really, really fucking getting good. And I was really enjoying it. And I don't see where they could fuck up. Because I would think season 4, I would feel like just do a Gorilla Grodd season for season 4. That's what I would think. Because you've already kind of threw hints at him coming to take over. Things like, I would have just made it a Gorilla Grodd season.
Watch Arrow first, and then just try season 4. Just try. Because I will say, the first episode of season 4, flames. And then from 2 to the end of the season, it's literally all crap. It is all crap that you can just skip and just never watch ever again.
You're gonna
all
watch
of the villains
Arrow.
of the week are terrible.
Yeah,
their powers are lame. And then when you find out the reason why they were lame is because of this one reason, and it's like, I don't care. Like, I just don't, man.
And then the sentimental values of the show did a complete like 3,000% boost, and I thought I was watching a soap opera at this point, and I don't care for the nonsense. It's like, oh, Cisco is hurt about things, and oh, we're giving him a love life, and oh, she's from a different multiverse. Oh, long distance relationship is
right?
hard
like, I
between
don't care.
Y'all. And I'm like, what does this got to do with the story?
What does this have to do with the Flash?
Have to do with the story. It doesn't. It's Davies. And then it was the way they dragged Caitlin and Killer Frost. Oh, Caitlin's trying to find out who her mommy and daddy really are. Oh my goodness. Killer Frost, who are you? I need your help sometimes. Oh, I'm a badass, but I may have daddy issues. I don't know. Let's drag this out for a whole season. Oh, woe is me. And then, of course, the worst one of them all, Iris. Oh, I want to be there for my husband. Oh, I wish I had powers so I could do something, because this isn't fair. I'm used to being on the front lines. What is this? Give me powers or give me death. And they gave her powers, and I wanted death.
Yeah, I agree.
They're gonna give her powers.
Like,
Yes,
And
Steve,
that
they
didn't
give
all
her
happen in
powers.
season 4. It's just like it's the stuff I didn't appreciate.
Technically,
Because
she's used 2 different powers at this point.
yeah, yeah, they
She doesn't have
depowered her and then
multiple like
repowered her.
abilities or anything.
They just like gave her powers for 2 different stretches, you know? And it's just like I that trope of the spouse of the superhero always being upset just is so played out to me. I dislike it. It's one of the things I truly disliked about Black Lightning is when Jefferson's wife, I forgot her name, she's like, oh my goodness, I don't want you doing this. And it's like, but ma'am, it's been this long and you knew what it was. And then the worst thing was she became a green light crackhead and she got addicted to having super. And I'm like, you hypocrite. I hate that trope. And
it's
Flash
very
does
human.
it all the time.
It's very human, but the CW drags it out way too fucking long. Like, Steve, when you get into Arrow season 3 and 4, it's everything that Abe is saying about the Flash, but on Arrow. It's just a bunch of unnecessary relationship crap. Are we getting married? Are we not getting married?
Oh my God, Felicity,
nonsense.
I love you.
Nonsense.
Oliver, I love you, but Felicity, I can't let you know who I am. You can't be involved. But Oliver, I already know, and I'm there to help you. But I'm also worried, you know,
but I can't.
I develop feelings for you. But you know,
my life's too dangerous.
I have secrets too. I was part of the Bravo. Oh my gosh, the Bravo! I kinda knew, but wait. You're keeping secrets from me and I don't like it. Well, of course, because baby, I must protect you. Oh my goodness. How could you? You're being selfish. I don't need protection. I am Felicity. I am a
Steve,
hacker.
I wish Abe was being dramatic. I really do.
I wish
he was just being dramatic.
I can see it because in the CW they were kind of doing it with
I hate sentimental shit, yo. I really do.
The way that Barry and Iris just kept having this like love circle thing, I was like, just let them get together already. Like after a while, it was just like, okay, just let it happen. Because it was just like they kept playing with it and they was throwing in these other characters to fall in love with them just for 5 episodes. I was like, why? Why even
That's
do that?
TV.
Yeah, I was just like, just go ahead and do it. And I don't know how I feel about Vibe. I enjoy his powers. I enjoy like him being like his intellect. But some of the stuff about Vibe was kind of like, I don't know.
It doesn't get better. I'll say that. In the later seasons, I am no longer a big fan of Cisco. The writing gives him choices that I think are stupid. Even though they're very human choices, I think they're stupid because it's one of those situations where you can just do both of these things, but for drama and a TV show, we're only going to do one of these things. You can do both. Both make sense simultaneously. Nothing would change, but it's more dramatic if we just do this one thing.
You know what pissed me off about Cisco when I stopped being a fan of Cisco is after Flashpoint. And when they're like, oh my God, I had a relationship with my brother. Oh, how could you take that away?
I like that though. Because it teaches him a lesson.
That's very different. That's a different.
It teaches Cisco a lesson too,
timeline.
because when Cisco fucks with time, he sees the repercussions of that, and he sees how easy it is to change the timeline just by doing something so minuscule.
But
so it's a good lesson for him.
It was like, yo, dog, this is stuff you should have known that time is affected. You guys should have known that. And while look, Barry has had reasons to mess with time and for stuff to happen, which you guys also supported and stood by. Of course, for Flashpoint, he shouldn't have done it, but he did it. But it's also like, yo, I mean, Diggle was like, I had a son. Now I have a daughter. Like, oh my gosh, how could you? Sir, this is a new universe. That's not the same you. Get over it. Stop being so emotional. I don't like it. And then from that point on, everything else became emotional. That's when they decided, let's get Cisco a long distance multiversal relationship with a freaking bounty hunter.
And then Breezy's in chat like, but she was hot though. This is the problem. This is the problem. The
But,
CW
like-
thinks, oh yeah, we'll just throw hot people at the fucking screen and we can just write whatever we want. It doesn't have to make sense. We can draw it out for 24 episodes, but as long as they're hot, no one cares. I fucking
Look,
do.
This is a
Yeah.
spoiler for you because you haven't started season 5.
Careful
Which
for
one is the
spoilers.
Savitar
3.
season? Oh, never mind. It's not a spoiler. You know when they showed you like, yo, Savitar is gonna kill Iris. I
Yeah.
was rooting for it. I was hoping Barry would fail the entire season. I enjoyed the season. It was a very good season, but I was like, lose.
In a sense.
lose.
Very.
And he kind of did, and I was like, yes. And then they were like,
He failed.
Savitar is one of your variants that gets created when you decide to mess with the timeline. And he had a Pinocchio moment. I'm a real boy too. I'm a real Barry Allen. Who are you to say I'm not real?
Hey,
Look, dog.
He
no
had
lie.
he had a reason to be pissed off though. The
If
story
I-
was really
just
good in
like-
that season. Could you imagine being a time remnant, having all of the same memories, and it's like, well, you have the same feelings. He loves Iris the same way Barry does, but you're not my wife because I'm just a time remnant of this other guy.
And you got the time wraith that's on his way trying to eradicate you. And it's
That
like,
too.
holy hell.
If
Like,
I
that's why season 3 is still a good season. But then from then on, I knew like, yo, I think we've reached the peak of Flash writing.
If I'm
and
Barry, I'm going
what
to the
happened.
future and I'm slapping my future self because you knew that it was fucking that you were the future. There was a variant version that was Savitar, and you told me you didn't know. Like that would have pissed me off because you could have helped me.
Well, that was just one potential future. Maybe in that potential future, he didn't know who Savitar was. You know, so time always changes. You know, so it's a little tricky that way.
Fair enough.
But yeah, man, whenever you're finished with the couple seasons of Arrow, we should have like an entire episode just on like the CW verse, just to see your thoughts on where you're caught up.
Okay, I'm down.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. All right, so let's move on to our other news topics for the night. Russel T. Davies has returned as the showrunner of Doctor Who after 12 years. He was the showrunner from 2005 to 2009, which was one of the last seasons from Tenet. And now he's back. I am very, very excited. Tenet's my favorite Doctor. Tenet has some of my favorite episodes, my favorite seasons. So seeing the showrunner come back that made me fall in love with Doctor Who in the first place, ecstatic about this. Abe, what are your thoughts on this news?
He gave us Dr. Donna. It's dope. I'm so excited for this because Russell T, I mean, he did a great job with the resurgence of Doctor Who with 05. Again, Eccleston, as my first ever intro to Doctor Who, you know, not knowing the lore, just knowing like, hey, there's a new season of Doctor Who. Oh, word? Like, I thought I've seen clips of this from like black and white, so it's an old show. And it's like, yeah, you don't really need to watch it. I mean, it's cool to know, but you can still just, and I jumped in. Eccleston surprised me, had me interested. Russell T. Davies, every time I saw his name, it got me hype in the opening credits. You know, and he's teaming up with Bad Wolf, and you know the theme that they used with Bad Wolf in the show, it was so dope. So I'm glad for it. One thing I do want to iterate for the fans is don't take this as like, oh, you know, Doctor Who has dropped in quality and Doctor Who needs this. It's like, no, Doctor Who is one of those projects where you can have fun experimenting with stuff because at the end of the day, they've done a great job of being consistent with the time travel rules. They are one of the very few projects that incorporate time travel and do it well. You know,
Yeah.
You don't get confused. You don't. I mean, it works. And so I'm just excited to see Russell T. Davies back and for the foreseeable future because they're like, he's coming back for the 60th anniversary this upcoming season and he's staying on with Bad Wolf.
He's been a
I
writer
need
this
to
whole
catch up.
time. Like, he's been writing episodes the whole time, but for him to be at the reins,
it's good. It's good. You know, you're gonna get some great stories. I mean, look, the Daleks, the Daleks are my favorite Doctor Who antagonists. The Daleks are so cold, and I'm
between them and the Cybermen. I can't choose. I can never choose between.
Cybermen, yo.
Really?
I'm anti-Cybermen. Yeah, because it's Daleks over. There can only be one. There can only be one. And I'm with the exterminate. I'm with that shit, yo. I'm with it. The Daleks are forever. They reign supreme. I love them. And then of course the Weeping Angels. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Weeping Angels are
Carl, what did you think of that episode, Steve? When you watched it, the Weeping Angels episode?
That's at the very beginning, right? Early.
That was the first one. That was one of our introductions to Tenet. It was the first season of a Tenet season.
Because it was him and what was the black girl's name? I can't remember. Martha, yeah.
See, I got to season 4 and then I fell off. I haven't picked back up. But I got to season 4. So and it's been a minute since I watched. But I remember like the first season of Tenet. I think the first episode was like they had like a winter Christmas type feel to it. Yeah. And
I love their Christmas specials. Their Christmas specials are so fun.
You will love Matt Smith in season 5. Like Matt Smith is everything that Tenet was prepping us for the Doctor to be. Like the real like badass, like do not fuck with me or my friends or I will murk you and your entire race. So
and that was the Christmas episode, because the Christmas episode usually always started off the new season, right? Mm-hmm. That because I was with the ship in the sky.
With the eye.
Yeah, and it was like, yo, he was over it because his iterations had gone through loss. So as you've seen watching 4 seasons, just how much loss the Doctors had to experience, and how many times his rule of like not being violent and whatnot has led to deaths of close friends and whatnot. When Matt Smith comes in that Christmas episode, they were like, yo, I may not kill you, but I will definitely put you in positions and turn a blind eye to situations that will kill you. I am not playing anymore. That passive doctor bullshit is out the window right now. I will F with you if y'all F with me and my loved ones. I was like, and the reason, it's not like, oh, hey, you just like evil people. Look, we have been building, like JB said, we have been building up to this. It was just logical. It's been a work in progress for over 4+ years with different iterations of the Doctor. We just been getting to this point. So and it's why for me, when they introduce new Doctors, I'm excited because what is going to make this Doctor different? What past experience is going to imprint themselves on this one? That's why I was really excited for the Capaldi one. I watched a few episodes. I need to go back, and I really want to see what they did with the first woman Doctor. You know, like how did they tell that story? So,
you haven't seen any of Jodie's episodes?
No, I haven't seen any of Jodie's.
So Jodie is this really amazing mix of like Tennant, Smith, and then her own thing. Okay. So it's really dope. She's really light and fun, but that switch can turn at any moment, and she will fuck you up, bro. So it's like she's like awesome. That. Capaldi is my least favorite, but that doesn't mean that he's bad. He's just my least favorite because everyone else was just so good.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm in, because I started my rewatch. I think I'm in season 6. I might just go back and start from the beginning because it's just my tendency to do that. But
do it.
I'm gonna restart my binge. Yeah, especially before this Christmas episode. We're getting Christmas special. We're getting soon.
Have you ever seen Torchwood?
Yes and no. I watched a few episodes, but I never bothered getting into it. I love the idea of a spin-off, but because it didn't last long, I didn't bother giving it much play.
Okay, I love Torchwood.
Okay.
Yeah, it's you already know, but it's all about Captain Jack and his team, and they pretty much investigate everything. What when the Doctor's not around, right? Like they're in charge,
bro. You talking about
they're
Captain
pretty much
Jack?
They're a better version of the MIB in my opinion.
Yeah, Captain Jack. The way they told his story in Doctor Who was one of the most well planned, well executed, like just everything coming full circle.
Yeah.
Yo, it blew my mind. And the thing was, it wasn't until I watched on my like 3rd rewatch and I had subtitles on. And I was just like, hold on. Wait. Because sometimes when you watch it, you may miss some words. It's just like, oh, your brain will fill in the blanks. But when you're also reading, you're like, hold on, I didn't pick. Oh, I don't know what season that was, so I don't want to ruin it for Steve. But it was that was so beautifully executed. It made me a huge fan of Captain Jack. It
Yeah,
really
I'm
did.
pretty sure Steve has already seen him, but he doesn't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know. That's why
I need to
That's why I
dive
didn't
back.
use the other name. I
Yeah, yeah,
didn't want
yeah.
to use the other name to reveal it.
I need to dive back into Doctor Who. Like, there's
Yo,
so
it
much,
is.
it's so much that I have to like keep going back and forth and on
Yes.
and stuff. Cause
Every time you rewatch, because you realize, yo, when you have subtitles on, you realize how much you miss. That season, you know how often they kept talking about Torchwood every episode,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in the past. You just like, oh, but when you're like, yo, this is like the sixth time I've seen Torchwood in like 4 episodes, and you realize like, oh, that's what it's about. Bad Wolf. Oh, that whole season, the foreshadowing is like they blatantly tell you, but you don't always pick up on it, and it's.
mm, yeah, I gotta catch back up. Cause like I only watched the first season of Titans because I was like, oh, okay, I'll wait. So I want to jump back into that. I still need to keep going with Flash. I still need to go with Green Arrow. I still need to continue on Supernatural. Like I have
Yeah,
so
me too.
many other shows that I'm like I need to touch on and stuff like that. But I'm bouncing back around so I can at least be
Do
somewhat.
Arrow season 1 and 2 first
Yeah,
because they're the best. Flames, well, five's the best in my opinion, but yeah, one
because I'm
and
still trying
two.
to be knowledgeable in all these other areas, and it's like, damn, man, it's so much content that
Yeah,
I
man.
gotta absorb. So yeah, like I need to get back into Doctor Who though because I was really like I'm not gonna lie that first season I was like they told me that this shit was good and this is I did not enjoy like I didn't enjoy like the first half of that first season. I was like, yo,
That's fair.
this is I was like this is rough, and I was all like, but it's got like 13 seasons or something like that on HBO Max. I was like, so there's no way that a bad show has 13. There's no, it's not possible. And then I was like, and then on top of that, I got you, a Ray at the time was all, and Rome from Worst Gen. They were y'all were all in my ear, like, yo, Doctor Who was really the shit, like for real.
Yeah,
And
dude.
I was like, all right, I trust them. And I was like, I trust them. So I was like, let me get into it. And towards the well, really the second season, I was already hooked. I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. Yeah. So I was definitely enjoying that shit. So yeah.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of great stuff out there to watch. Very excited for Russell T Davies to come back as a showrunner of Doctor Who. It's going to be a really great time. I know Jodie's on the towards the end of her run as the Doctor, so I'm looking forward to see who's going to be the new Doctor. Are they going to go with another woman? Are we going to get a guy again? Is the Doctor finally going to be Ginger? Who knows? So we're
Right?
still
They've been
waiting for,
teasing on
waiting for
that one point for decades, dog. Oh my
literal
god.
decades.
Yeah, y'all need to let's just throw it at us one. And just we getting the Daleks back because the one thing I didn't like the humanization of the Daleks, but then he kind of reverted back. That's why I need to restart my rewatch because it gets murky how the Daleks wrapped up, especially since I haven't watched much of Capaldi's or Jodie's. I'm interested to see if the Daleks always, because they always make their their
They're
reemergence
always
in
great,
different
man.
ways.
They're always great.
Although you know what? It was the Capaldi season, his companion, and that connection with the Dalek. I remember watching those episodes, and that threw me for a loop. It had me mad interested. So yeah, I need to restart my jaw for sure. I need to restart my jaw.
His companion is my second least favorite companion. I am not a Carla fan at all.
Yeah, Carla. Yeah, there we go.
I am not a fan.
That's the main girl from the first season and stuff, right?
No,
That's
no.
Rose.
Yeah, no.
I,
Carla's a new one. You haven't gotten to
yeah,
her
you
yet.
haven't met her
Oh,
yet.
okay. I was about to say I'm not in love with Rose.
Yeah, I don't like Rose at all. She is my
Rose
least
is a lot
favorite.
of people's favorites, and
She's
I'm
my
with
Really?
least
y'all.
favorite. I fucking hate Rose.
My number one is Donna. Is Donna Noble. That's my number one because she was the ideal companion. Because this is why you gotta continue on. What made that season so dope is that while yes, Doctor Who was like, yo, I'm willing to go, you now are paired with Donna, who's not the type of attractive love interest companion that we're used to getting with Doctor Who, But someone who's like, no, I'm gonna call you out on your shit now. Oh, what was me? I love you, but I can't tell you. You travel the world. I'm gonna be passive aggressive. Donna was like, "What? Hey, bloody, you bloody fool! What are you doing?" And
Yeah,
it's like, "Oh
she was the friend
shit,
he needed.
yeah." And then Doctor Donna was so dope. Oh my gosh. Oh, I gotta restart my bench. You know what? While
You
you
really
guys are doing
should.
this, I'm gonna turn on my TV. My back will be to you. I'm watching Doctor Who. Y'all let me know when you need my attention again.
But yeah, man, really excited about this news. Can't wait to see what happens with the future seasons of Doctor Who. As you can tell, we are huge fans here. So, Abe, Steve, also can't wait to hear about your thoughts whenever you catch up with like Matt Smith and keep going with that. So, can't wait to hear about that. So let's move on to Mario news. So during the Nintendo Direct yesterday, we finally got some news that they're going to be making. Nintendo is partnering with Illumination to make a Mario animated film, and that film is going to star Chris Pratt as the voice of Mario, which doesn't make any sense to me because I think this is literally the perfect opportunity to get an Italian voice actor to voice an Italian character, but whatever. What do I know? Charlie Day is going to be Luigi, which is actually going to be funny, but Anya Taylor-Joy is going to be Peach. We have Jack Black as Bowser, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. What are you guys' thoughts on this casting news?
Oh, I'll go in first. Okay. So Chris Pratt, shit. That just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Charles Martinet is still alive. Like, and you have him casted in the movie. So, and it says undisclosed role for his casting. So it's like, is he gonna play like Mario during like inflections and like different scenes or whatever? Like, what is the point of having Charles Martinet in the movie and then also having Chris Pratt? It's like somebody's getting overpaid here. It just makes no sense to do this. And it's like you just cast the regular Mario, and then everybody around him could be other people, and it would be like fine. But it makes no sense to fucking do Chris Pratt. I literally watched a video on YouTube, was a reaction video of everybody reacting to Chris Pratt being announced, and it was a 45-minute video. And it was just everybody like, what the fuck? Like laughing. It was hilarious. And then the funniest part of the video, a couple of people that reacted to it, the voiceover of the guy that's over Nintendo, he said, I chose Chris Pratt because he was so cool. And everybody was like, he's so cool. What the fuck? Like that's why you chose him to voice Mario, because he's so cool. Like that's a terrible excuse.
He's so hot right now.
Terrible. Like it makes no sense. But and then like so Charlie Day is Luigi. I'm like, all right, whatever. But I agree with Vash because I said it in my head, and then Vash said it yesterday on you guys on Anime Lately. He was like, I would have done Keegan-Michael Key as Luigi. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know what you would have did Charlie Day as after that, but Keegan-Michael Key as Luigi kind of makes a little more sense because Keegan-Michael Key, his voice is more loud and flex. You know what I'm saying? His inflections are really different.
And I guess that's what they're trying to do with Toad. Like they want to, no pun intended, but like bring him out of his shell, kind of, and like give him like personality and shit. Like,
yeah, because I mean, his voice is really scratchy, kind of like he sounds like the gingerbread man on fucking Shrek. He's kind of got that kind of voice. Like so, Keegan-Michael Key hitting those notes, kind of weird. I mean, we all love Jack Black. You know what I'm saying in general. But now that I'm thinking about it, I keep thinking Kung Fu Panda, things like that. His voice is kind of like more softer, high pitched. It's kind of gonna be weird as Bowser, but I believe in Jack Black at the same time as an actor. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, that works out. Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. I'm not sure, honestly and truthfully. I'm really not sure. I remember yesterday when you guys were talking about it, and Abe was like, long as they didn't do a black character. Honestly and truthfully, I mean, you might have been better off.
Nah, do not take that chance, bro.
I know you don't want a fucking black character to play a monkey, but I mean, if that was if Donkey Kong was Idris Elba, it might be cool.
Nah.
Like that voice might have been worked.
Sir, not one day excuses. Like we felt like they epitomized the characters that they were asked to play.
Yeah, no.
Oh God,
that's a fuck,
sir.
That's a fuck.
Yeah, the article literally says we chose these actors because they perfectly embody the characters that they'll be voicing. I'm like, yeah, that would honestly not work.
The reason why you chose Chris Pratt as Mario because he's so cool. Chris Pratt as Donkey Kong might have worked. You know what I'm saying? Like that might have worked.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong is so cool.
Might have been better.
Like, it's just like some of these people were cast in the wrong roles. Is what it feels like in a sense.
The only one I will defend is Jack Black as Bowser. It's like, why not? Jack Black could have actually been a good Donkey Kong too if we to keep it above.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
He would have been. But I like Bowser.
My perfect casting, even though I joked about it yesterday, but my perfect casting would have been Danny DeVito as Mario. We seen him.
No, Pacino. Or did you want DeVito?
Yeah, I joked with the Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and then JB made it sound brilliant. And I was like,
I mean, why not?
Yeah, but Danny DeVito, we seen him play the Lorax. His kind of like personality. I could see Danny DeVito playing Mario. That would have been like my dream casting, kind of in a sense. But we get Chris Pratt, and we hope for the best.
We don't hope for nothing.
He put out a video. He's like, I've been working on the voice for a couple months now, and yada yada yada. So,
did he do the voice?
No, he's not going to reveal it until the movie.
Because he had been working on it. Because
Balashi Tally's come out like, yo, what type of? You'll know how I feel when Will Smith decided to play a Nigerian. Watch out, Italy. You'll find out.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Oh my God, Abe! I can only imagine how insulting that is for you because it pisses me off. Like everyone thinks that all Caribbean people sound like Jamaicans. We don't all say "mon." Stop it! Stop!
I'll say "mon."
Stop!
Dude, and some of them don't even speak English. You speak like some of the native languages, like French tongue and things like that. So it's weird that they all do the Jamaican accent. And
it's like, come on. I mean, we've seen the Jamaican accent get butchered so many times on television, primetime television movies. Like, oh my goodness, we've seen some bad things.
Luke Cage season.
Oh, jeez.
You know what, Bushmaster? Like, it wasn't the best, but I did enjoy Bushmaster's character, and I enjoyed how he was Luke Cage's ass. It definitely was a terrible accent. It was forced. But I did enjoy season 2 and especially the soundtrack, and I was upset that they canceled it because I was like, hey, he's about to take over Harlem. But who knows? Maybe they can, revamp Luke Cage. I would like them to keep Mike Coulter. I did enjoy him. Would like them to keep him on, give him better scripts, and see what magic can make happen. But and my thoughts on the Mario stuff. If you haven't heard it on anime lately, I'm just here to defend Jack Black. That's it.
I think Anya Taylor-Joy is a really good choice for Peach.
Yeah, because Peach is barely gonna say words. Peach, oh no, Mario!
This is 2021. She is not going to be a damsel in distress. That's not happening.
Bro, when I saw Chris Pratt as Mario, I was like, oh, okay, Scarlett Johansson is Peach, huh?
Oh, God.
Is that coming, Scarlett Johansson?
Peach about to cuss out Bowser, and I'm here for that. I'm here for the dialogue between Jack Black and Anya.
Yeah, right. I think that would be really funny. I mean, we'll see, man. Like, I'm just jaded by like getting big actors to just voice characters. Like I was talking about an anime lately last night, like Lion King, right? I felt like all of the voice actors were terrible. I thought they were all terrible. How do you make I don't know, like Seth Rogen and someone else was like they were voicing Timon and Pumbaa. They were terrible. I'm pretty sure Keegan did a voice too. He was fucking terrible.
Keegan was one of the hyenas.
Terrible.
It was all bad. But the
Donald Glover as Simba, even he fucking sucked.
They all sucked. The thing that was so bad about it was because of the fact that we forget that the Lion King, even though like it was in 1995 and there were what they tried to do was they tried to do a lot of all black casting for this new Lion King, which was fine. That's what we wanted. That was the fan service. But in reality, the original Lion King, those were Broadway actors and actresses for the most part. Nathan Lane, I can't remember the guy that played his name that plays Scar, but those are Broadway
Jeremy
stars.
Irons, bro.
Jeremy Irons, fucking James Earl Jones. Those are superstar Broadway actors. And then you just
He
put
came
them,
back for the new one. He fucking sucked.
Like,
he was
here's
just
the
too
thing:
old
people
for it.
forget that, you know, this is how you knew that it wasn't watching on the VHS. You know, when you pop the VHS and their previews, they show you the Broadway performance of Lion King. They're like coming to Broadway near you. Like,
Yeah, people think that that's
season.
bullshit.
Yeah, like, nah, this John was
These
a full-on Broadway play. It was meant to be extra, whatnot. You
Bro.
doing a live action movie, but I will say this: Beyonce's visual album for the movie was pretty dope, though.
Her
I
album
didn't
was
see it.
dope, but she sucks
Yeah,
as Nala too.
Hey, you know what? The visual album is really good because it's super cinematic, the way it just flowed. And it really, she paid attention to the assignment in terms of knowing the culture she was invoking and the people she had on. I saw that several West African artists in there that were adding vocals to the track and whatnot, and just, you know, the art of music videos has been dying, honestly. Not many people make music videos that tell a story anymore. That visual
Not in
album
America
for
much.
Lion King, yeah, especially that visual album for Lion King was, I felt like, oh, this is the movie that y'all are talking about. I'm cool with this, so I don't really need to watch the actual movie then. I
Bro,
can just
don't
watch.
let yourself
video.
down.
Nah, yeah, the music video is fine enough with me. That's cool.
It's just they just had too many amazing, basically Broadway people that use their voice because they have to use, because you only get one take on Broadway. Like, there's no retake, there's no reshoot. They have to do it perfect. So you get a bunch of those guys and you put them in a voice acting scene and they kill it. And then you turn around and all of these people are still alive, by the way. Like, these aren't just a bunch of dead people. Instead of just like using them again, like, fuck it, let's just go get anybody else. And it's just
Because
just
those
ruined.
names sell at the box office. Like, you tell people that Donald Glover and Beyonce are gonna do a duet in the fucking Lion King movie as Simba and Nala, people are gonna eat that shit up. But it was awful.
But you
I
can even
want
use
to be
them as the
teleported
scene.
to the universe where Beyonce never acted ever. She's terrible. Beyonce, I know you're watching this. You are one of the greatest musical performers ever. Stop acting.
Bro,
Just
you
take
know what's
the
crazy?
W. Take the W. You're one of the best
Beyonce.
performers ever. Take the W.
Bae,
Stop
Bae,
acting.
Look,
Beyonce,
Beyonce, look. Miss Knowles, Mrs. Knowles Carter. You do what you want when you popping, okay?
No,
you
don't.
live out your dreams.
No, you don't.
You know,
She's
just
already lived them. She's already
do
lived
whatever
them.
you want.
She was in Gold Member.
Yeah,
whatever you
just
want.
not acting. Just
She was
not
in Gold
acting.
Member. She's good.
Did y'all see that movie Obsessed?
She had
I did.
the lady in Obsessed.
Oh,
She
my
is a
goodness.
god awful actress.
But this
And I don't
Part of
care.
Obsessed was that
Breezy, I
asshole
don't care about the
position.
Bayhive. I don't care. Okay, she's a god awful actress, and it's the truth.
We love you, Beyonce.
Bro,
I love her as a
thing-
performer and a human being. As a performer and a human being, Beyonce's amazing. As an actress, stop. Just stop.
Bro, what's
Save us
even
all.
What's even worse about this is that Lion King, the original movie, they had actors and then they had singers to sing those parts. So you could have even did Donald Glover and Beyonce actually do the singing parts and had a different actor and actress take on the actual role. What's so hard about that? What are you against that for? I understand in musicals now they don't do it anymore because you don't want to have people lip singing and things like this. This wasn't a musical. This was the Lion King, like a CGI performance. This was a voiceover. You literally could have did two different people. You could have literally had an actor and then a voice singer for the singing roles. There was no reason to not do that. And you just were continuously just putting yourself in a hole.
Yeah, man, I was not a fan of that movie. I actually thought it was the worst film of 2017. Hands
Oh,
down,
my
the
goodness.
worst film of all of 2017. Hands down.
what was so crazy about that whole year, we were on Will Smith's ass. We was like, he's gonna ruin the genie. Oh, please, just
Yeah, he was
don't do
decent.
this. And we were all on his ass. And then
Aladdin, yeah.
the movie came out and he was pretty solid.
Yeah, he was fun.
And then turn around and we completely forgot about Lion King. And it came out a month and a half, 2 months later, and it was terrible. And we was like, oh no, we were worried about the wrong thing. We should have been worried about.
I mean, it was tough because, yes, Will Smith is an icon and whatnot, but you have him going against Robin Williams. Like, he's going to be compared. Right. And Robin Williams, correct me if I'm wrong, it was at least a couple years when the movie came out that he had passed, or am I tripping? He died long ago.
Oh, yeah, it's been years since he passed. Yeah.
Okay, so it was just like, people are like, hey, the only genie we acknowledge is Robin Williams. Like, nah, and especially Will Smith's string of films at that point had been lackluster. Anyway, people had a right to be worried.
And the thing is, he was smart. He didn't try. So with Lion King, which is the same thing, they tried to emulate their predecessors.
Right.
They tried to do everything exactly the same. Will Smith was like, I can't do Robin Williams. And he turned the genie into his own character.
And he's already so charismatic, so it worked,
It was the smartest thing ever. It was just like, let me do my own thing and make this genie character my character. And he pretty much did that. Whereas at The Lion King, everybody was trying to be the same character from that, and they just sucked at it. They really did. And it was just like, it didn't make sense to me. Like,
yeah, Chiwetel Ejiofor is one of the best actors working today. God-awful Scar. God-awful.
Oh my God. He was so bad. He was probably, between him and as far as the casting in Jungle Book, the dude that played the gorilla, the orangutan that seen Friend Like Me, who is actually a really great actor as well. Huh?
Babalu? That's the name of the bear?
No, Baloo's the bear. That was
Baloo.
That was fucking, god damn it. Now I can't think of anybody's name right now. But Baloo was Bill Murray. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
Bill Murray,
the orangutan is a really popular actor. I can't think of his name. But he was horrible.
What's the orangutan's name again?
I forgot that one.
I can't remember.
I can't think of
I haven't really watched, the only live action Disney stuff I've watched is Cruella.
Have you seen The Jungle Book? Because The Jungle Book's actually amazing. It's actually amazing. Jon Favreau did it. It's actually amazing. I think that's why I was so let down.
No, right?
It should be, yeah. I think that's why I was so let down by The Lion King, because The Jungle Book was just so good. Like, next level good.
Played King Louis.
King Louis, yeah.
He was great as King. He was great as King Louis until it was time to do Friend Like Me. Well, not Friend Like Me.
Christopher Walken has a great voice for acting, but you asked.
Boy, when it was time to sing and do that part, it was just fucking awful. It was like, bro, like he was just talking. He was talking the words instead of actually singing, and that was the best song of Jungle Book. And it was just like, dude, there's nothing wrong with hiring a singer to do these parts because it's CGI. He's not actually doing this. So you could just hire somebody to do this part and then take over. And then once that's over, go back to Christopher Walken playing King Louis. It just made no sense to do that.
Yeah, but again, they would have to pay more money to these people to sing. And it's a fucking mess. And we all know that studios don't like spending money, which is a great transition for our last news topic. Which is Marvel is suing the heirs of several families of comic book creators. They're suing them so that they can't reclaim the copyrights to a lot of popular characters that are making Disney a lot of money in the MCU right now. Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange. And some of the people involved are the family members of Steve Ditko, family members of Stan Lee, and a couple other families who are all just trying to get money that they deserve you know, because of the work that their family members have put in to creating these characters. The MCU makes billions of dollars every single year on these characters. As terrible as those Sony Spider-Man movies are, for the most part anyway, they've all made upwards close to $1 billion. Even the Amazing Spider-Man 2, I think that made over like 700 million, right? So they make a bunch of money. How hard would it really be to just pay the families of these estates a small percentage of what they should have, right? And in here, Marvel is saying that they're arguing that the characters were created under work for hire arrangements and that the heirs have no valid claim to the copyrights. So legally, sure, legally they can do this, but ethically it's wrong. So Steve, I want to start with you and I want to get your thoughts, your initial thoughts when you heard this news.
I just definitely thought it was shitty. I was like, they deserve the, you know what I'm saying? That they deserve something. Like, I'm not saying that they deserve, if you make $1 billion, they deserve half or anything like that. But dude, give me $1 million. Like, you know, out of the billion, give me 1 million. Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, that makes no sense for them to not be getting anything. Because like my relative deserves something. You know what I'm saying? The person that created this, he deserves some type of credit. And I get it, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not that person. I'm not that talented person that created Spider-Man, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, things like that. But for my families, for my generational wealth, we deserve something. So I get it. Like, they deserve something. And I get the work for hire thing, but it's like, come on, dude, at this point, you're being crazy greedy right now, because like you're gonna make $1 billion again off of Spider-Man. Like, there's nothing wrong with giving them something. And it's a high risk, high reward for the people that really no risk, high reward for the people that are trying to sue, because it's like, we're not getting anything anyway. So we try to sue, we lose, we don't get anything. But if we win, we're gonna get a lot. The you know what I'm saying? The bank, you get what, 5, 6 characters, what it was, and then you're gonna turn around and then Marvel's just gonna try to buy them back. Like, you're not gonna sit there and have the characters and then you come up with your own studio and try to do. That's not gonna happen, more than likely. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna win the characters, and then Marvel's gonna be like, all right, well, what's your price? Now we got to buy the characters back. And then they turn around and buy the characters back. So it's no risk, high reward if you win. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it shouldn't even take all of this. It should be a quick, like, here's 2% for the rest of you. You know what I'm saying?
Right, like time. I think 2 to 5%, and I'm not an like a analyst or anything. Like, I don't know the best way to do this, but like 2 to 5% for the entire family, to Ditko's family, to the Ditko estate, right? 5% off of the total box office numbers of the next Spider-Man movie, or the foreseeable Spider-Man and Doctor Strange movies. Would that really be that terrible? You know what I mean? I don't think it would be that bad. Where do you stand on this?
So much money from Spider-Man, because you're gonna eventually get a cartoon. You're eventually gonna get another comic book run. You're eventually gonna get up this Miles Morales game. Into the Spider-Verse Part 2 is coming out. There's so much money that you're gonna make. Some 2% is shit. We give them that. Like, yeah.
For me, it's like giving out royalties, you know? But at the same time, as much as ethically we're all on the same page, but you know, business is business, and I understand the methods. I understand why Disney's doing it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand why they are and how they can. The comic industry, like we were talking at that time, when these great writers were making characters, you know, their jobs weren't stable. Like, they couldn't afford to tie themselves to one organization, because they've seen organizations get bought out, they've seen them fail. A lot of them, hence the crossovers between Marvel and DC and other independent companies. That's why we have a lot of crossovers. Like, yo, I'll write for you. You know, these characters will work for hire. If these characters by Ditko and Lee are found to fall under that title, you know, it's unfortunate. It really is, but they'll win the case just like they did when it was Siegel versus DC several years ago. And it's funny that the same lawyers are in this case too, representing the same sides. The lawyer who won the case for DC is the lawyer for Marvel. The lawyer who fought for Siegel is the lawyer for the Ditko State and whatnot. So it's like, so this is Thriller in Manila round 2, huh, baby? Okay, let's see what happens. But overall, it's just, man, it shows the greed of capitalism. You know, it wouldn't hurt Disney one bit to just give royalties to this state. That way, the family of these people can continue to profit off of it. But we live in a society where you gotta have more. You gotta have more. You gotta have more.
Grimy,
so much more. So
this is the second time, like,
it's just the system at work, yo.
In 30 days, 45 days, where we were like, okay, Scarlett Johansson situation, and now it's like, dog, Disney is like.
I mean, this is just the corporate world, man. It's just a lot of people don't speak up because they're afraid of being blacklisted. Honestly, you know what I mean?
The
like,
rich stay richer, though.
Yeah,
the rich
exactly.
stay richer because you just continue to be like super penny pinching tight with your money, and that's how it is. But that's crazy to me. Like 2% of, even if you do a one time 2% of your sales for this next Spider-Man movie, one time. After this, you go live your life however you want to live it. And what's wrong with them getting that? Because you're going to continue to do Spider-Verse 2, another Spider-Man game, other Spider-Man runs, Venom and Carnage. There's so much stuff that you're about to come out with. Even if you did a one-time 2 to 5% thing, that's more than enough. But if you do it annually, 2%, it's not going to hurt you. It's like paying taxes for somebody that big.
Rich people don't love paying taxes. You know that.
But it's so crazy. It's like, come on, man.
Taxes?
Like, they deserve
to pay taxes?
They deserve. And bro, that's the thing that I'm mostly scared about. I'm like, one day I could be writing something and it turns out to be something big. And then 20 years from now, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna cut you out and you live your life. Thanks for all the help you get.
I aspire to be able to one day say, yeah, I got money in the Cayman Islands. That's what I aspire to. So, you know, I understand that is the goal, to be like, yeah, I got funds in the Caymans, you know. It's untouchable. I aspire for that one day. So I feel you, rich people. I see why you don't, but you know, I wouldn't avoid taxes. I just, you know, savings account in the Caymans. That's what I do.
It's a tricky situation for sure. They definitely deserve something, but like Abe was saying, it's business, right? Like if I created Marvel Comics and I give you an opportunity to create characters and to bring them to life and get them published all across the globe, yeah, I mean, technically it is mine based on the contract, right? Mm-hmm. And this is where all the contract stuff comes into place, and where companies completely screw over people. Like, look at Dave Chappelle, right? Like, because of the contract he signed early on, he didn't have like any rights at all to Chappelle's show. So Comedy Central could just do whatever the fuck they wanted to. They could sell it to whatever streaming service they wanted to. He had no say in it, right?
Yeah.
Ethically, it's wrong, but it's like, yeah, it's still my network, but still, like, without this person, you don't get the popularity that you have. You don't have the box office numbers, the comic numbers without these people. So I think a very, very small percentage on the back end is fair. You don't have to give them a lot. 2% on total box office sales for as long as they make Spider-Man movies. 2%. Come on.
You're gonna make $1 billion off of this one.
Like in some cases, toys make more money than the movies.
Yeah.
Right? Like George Lucas is like one of the luckiest people in the world, right? Because when George Lucas made Star Wars, he asked the studio for 100% rights over all merchandising and toy sales and all that shit. And then the toys blew up. They blew up, and he got all that money. The
Mhm.
toys made as much money as the fucking movies. It's crazy.
Bro. Speaking of toys, you have to watch the Toys That Made Us on Netflix.
I will.
It's a must watch. Like between if you don't watch the whole thing, if you only watch Ninja Turtles episode and Power Rangers episode, those two episodes are enough for you to like. Toy sales are crazy, and that's what Nick Saban, Nick Saban, was banking on with Power Rangers. He didn't. He honestly and truthfully, when you watch the documentary, it didn't sound like he cared about the show at all.
Toys make more money.
He was making the money off of the toys, and he was like, he did the Power Rangers joint, and he ran out of footage, basically of the Japanese, like when they were fighting.
Yeah, Super Sentai. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were basically he was dubbing it, and he ran out of footage. But he bought the studio, the entire studio, so he started finding other footage of another show that he had, which was Turbo Rangers was the next one.
Yeah.
But Transformers was already making bank off all their toys, and he wasn't making any money. So he was like super excited when he ran out of footage for Turbo Rangers. He's like, because now I can just make new toys. So when he revamped Power Rangers again for the third time, now I got new toys. And guess what? They're gonna sell. And he was like a crazy businessman, man. So it's like 2% of the actual movie sales compared to all the toys that you'll make off of Spider-Man. Things like it's so much. The games, even if they decided to do the Spider-Man video game that comes out on PlayStation, but then you do a Spider-Man movie game based like how you used to do in PlayStation 2 days.
Yeah.
You make a crazy amount of money. It's so much money that's there to be made. And for you guys to be screwing somebody over like this is just crazy.
Yeah, I'm curious to see like how this news like plays out as time passes, because we're gonna get a lot more news on this, much like the Scarlet news. Like this went on for weeks, getting more information on this. So yeah, make sure you guys stay tuned for that's careful for spoilers right here on Villains. We're gonna have all of the updates on this story because this is huge. Like we're talking about a lot of characters, like all of the characters that I named before. I didn't include Hawkeye. I didn't include Blade. Like there's a lot of characters on the line right now, and it's like
these are the people that saved Marvel.
Yeah, dude, that's the other thing.
That's what
Blade saved Marvel, literally.
You can't give me anything like that. Is so crazy. Blade saved Marvel, and it was enough money to fund Iron Man. And then they came out with Iron Man, which was also my character. Like it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, man. There's so many. There's a better way to deal with this stuff, but who knows if it'll ever change. Like corporations, they want money, they want more money, and that's all they give a shit about. Like they don't care about these other people. It's like, well, your family members are dead, and we don't owe you anything. Which is fucked. It's really messed up.
Yeah, it's a terrible way to live, man. Eventually, that's going to come back around, whether you pay for it here or later on in the afterlife or something. But still, it's wicked. It's a wicked game to play.
Yeah, man. But yeah, like I said, stay tuned to C4S on Twitter, on the website, right here on Villains, because we're going to be covering this as soon as more news drops on it. So let's move on to our main topic of the night. Let's get into what if episode 7, what if Thor were an only child. And I love that this episode explores Thor's life without Loki. As much of a troublemaker that Loki is, as much of the god of mischief that Loki has always been, we find out in this episode that Thor literally wouldn't be the man he is today if his brother was not living with him in his life the entire time. So I do love this exploration of Thor's life in this world, and this episode has a lot of crazy fucking cameos. There's so many characters in this episode, so many fun moments, so many screenshotable moments. That's not even a word, but I took like 70 screenshots of this episode. There's some amazing landscape shots, like the shots of like Thor and Captain Marvel fighting were all really, really good moments. So, Abe, I want to start with you. What were your general thoughts on What If episode 7?
It was a fun episode, lighthearted. At this point, we gotta expect it to have that comedic type vibe, and it works well with Chris Hemsworth and Thor. I mean, this is a very canonical storyline, origin story for not origin story, but characteristic of Thor being this party boy. Like, that's how we were introduced to him. Now we're actually seeing it played out a bit more. Natalie Portman, hey, welcome back to the MCU. Natalie Portman, she did her character well. Kat Dennings was great.
God, she's the best part.
Yeah, it was. I was dope to see Howard the Duck. Got to see him one more time. Let's go.
Him and Darcy get married. Like,
yeah,
what?
I was like, yeah, they're gonna get married. And the next, you know what, they got married. I was like, look,
bro,
it was
Howard the Duck,
too smooth.
Darcy.
Boy, Ducks got finesse, baby. They got finesse. You saw him, he swagged up, suit tie, got the martini glass. That boy know what he doing. So I'm not even surprised he booed up. And then he dropped his like, nah, not my type no more.
I ain't mad at it. He showed his little player ways.
But it was a funny episode, and it was really the ending that the ending is what solidified a lot of theories that we've been speaking on, that the internet has been speaking on, and I appreciate that they did it now, knowing that the last episode is going to address this. So we still got one more episode before that. I appreciate it. So it was a solid episode.
Steve?
Yeah, so I appreciated the change of pace, honestly and truthfully. The last like 4 or 5 episodes we've had have been pretty dark, pretty more so like there was still like, some comedic moments in it and stuff like that, funny moments. But for the most part, they were pretty dark, pretty melodramatic. And for this one to be more upbeat, more like fun, party-ish, and we got to have fun with the episode really in general. It was definitely a change of pace. I appreciated that. I definitely, after seeing all the other episodes and how they were like more so like, you know what I'm saying, like darker and laid back and things like that, I definitely did expect it to keep turning up each episode. So it was like a kind of disappointed, but at the same time, I just really enjoyed the fact that they stayed true to Thor's character in the sense of how he is a party animal, how he does do things like that. So I enjoyed that. I appreciated that.
And then, low key, that's the version we're about to start getting more. Is the more that's the version of Thor that we're returning. Yeah, so
because Loki's not there anymore technically.
Yeah,
and this was Thor without Loki. This is
he's gonna be with the Guardians, so we're gonna get that comedic like, hey, so they've been teasing that.
It was definitely a lot more lighthearted, and like I said, it seemed like the stakes turned up at each episode, and it still technically did, right? Because it was super happy and stuff throughout the whole episode, and then like the last 17 seconds of the show, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, Ultron. Like it's like, oh, what the fuck? So I appreciated that they did that change of pace and they gave us that difference.
Yeah, I'm with you. I love the change of pace. I love getting to see a super laid back fun episode where we just get to literally party and just have a good time and just see what life would be like if gods partied on Midgard. So it was really crazy. And then, like you guys already said, like the end of that episode, even the watcher was like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's like, hold on.
Oh, I got a theory on that wait, what too, because we'll do it at the end.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into it, right? So the episode starts much like the first Thor movie. We start off in New Mexico with Jane and Darcy, and they're doing research, and then they finally get a signal, right, from what they call the Einstein-Rosen bridge. And in this universe, Jane is already familiar with S.H.I.E.L.D., which is very different from the Thor movie. So she's already been associated with S.H.I.E.L.D. She knows about them already. They know about her. So I thought that was an interesting change to see her talking to Shield on the phone and all that stuff. So how did you guys feel about that change with her knowing about Shield?
I thought it was cool, but I wanted to know how. I was like, oh
Right.
shoot, how does she know about Shield? So I definitely was one of those ones where I wanted to dive a little bit deeper, but it was definitely cool. It was just her like kind of knowing about them. Kind of, I was wondering like how she associated with them. Are they using her for her smarts and her program that she knows about and things like that? So I was definitely like kind of like, how does she know about Shield and stuff like that? So yeah.
Yeah, for me, it was I liked it because it's been so long since we had Natalie Portman in the MCU, right? It's been so long since we've seen this character. It feels stale to reintroduce it the same way as we did with the first Thor movie, which was what, how long ago? Like almost 10.
2011.
So
Yeah, about
basically
10
10 years
years.
ago.
Mm.
Like let's give her a different origin, and working with Shield made sense. Because I can imagine like when this all happened, we still don't have the Avengers Initiative, of course. It seems that Captain Marvel is more on the scene, when
Hmm.
it comes to this John. So it's a very unique universe, and I'm down with it, her being a part of Shield. It makes for a fun idea, and who knows? Maybe they're preparing us for Natalie Portman when she's in Thor: God and Thunder. Maybe that's why she's been away for so long. We
She
still
looks
kind of have
great
to,
in Love and Thunder.
yeah. So you still gotta introduce to like, yo. So what's she been up to this whole time? Like since she been gone, So I'm rocking with it. Maybe she joined Shield. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah. I mean, the last we heard of her, she was like running like some huge like humanitarian project or some shit like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, I can't wait for Love and Thunder to see what Jane's been up to this whole time. So they tell Shield that we could potentially be having an extraterrestrial battle, and then we cut to Vegas, and Thor lands with Sif and the Warriors 3. Everyone thinks something crazy is about to happen, and then Thor just starts the party, right?
Yeah.
So then we kind of take a couple steps back, get back to Asgard, and Odin's about to fall into the Odin sleep. And you can just tell by Thor's face, like, this is a completely different Thor, like way more arrogant, way more self-centered than
Mm.
he ever was than we saw him in the first Thor movie, right? So what did you guys think about getting to see Asgard in this way, getting to see Thor sitting at Odin's bedside when Loki was sitting at his bedside when he was getting into the Odin sleep? I love all of these little changes that they're making.
I
Um.
oh go
Oh,
ahead.
my fault. For me, it was Frigga was like, "All right, I'm about to go have drinks with the girls," and it's like, "Damn, Frigga." I'm like, "Ain't nobody seemed heartbroken." Thor was ready to just say, "Hey, um, so I'm going out clubbing." I was like, "Okay, this is a very different uh family." This family is just like, "Look, guys, life moves on." Again, Frigga just jumping up and be like, "All right, I'm gonna go hang out with the girls. Uh, make sure don't party, behave." And he's like, "To Midgard. We are going to go somewhere where nobody, not even Heimdall himself, pays attention to." And it was dope. The differences, again, is fun, is to reiterate that, yo, they may look the same, they may sound the same, they are not the same. No better way to emphasize that than to change up the whole personality, the whole scenario and setting of the scene too. So
Yeah. So with me, I'm like you guys. I'm like, okay, this is a whole different family because she definitely was like, okay, he's going to sleep, and kind of just like moved on with her life. And even like Thor kind of was like, he seemed antsy, like, all right, you about to go to Odin sleep. And he kind of was like, because he was like, all
Hurry
right,
up,
you're
nigga.
gonna go to Odin. Yeah, you're gonna go to Odin sleep. Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up, Pete.
Wrap it up. And like, and then after that, it was like she went to go club. So he's like, I get to go party because nobody's watching over me. Like it kind of felt like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was no care in the world. And it was because of like Loki, even though he was mischievous and he's supposed to be quote unquote the bad guy, he always felt like he had to prove himself. So he's always kind of giving off that emotion, like I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't feel love. I don't feel accepted. And he didn't know why, because he was adopted. Whereas, like, you know what I'm saying? They were still trying to quote unquote hide him from knowing that he was adopted. So Frigga was kind of like loving on him a little more. And you know what I'm saying? Whereas Thor was already confident about himself. So now you got a kid that's confident about himself. So I don't have to be the lovey-dovey hugging mom because you're already the shit. Like you already know that you're the shit. I don't have to be this type of person. Whereas Loki needed this ego stroke. He needed that love and that acceptance and things like that. So it changes everybody's perception, the way that they act and everything like that. Even to a point where Frigga was kind of just like nonchalant, non-caring, just didn't give a shit. So I really like this.
Yeah, because I mean, it happens every 100 years, so it's just the next thing,
it's another thing. Yeah, it's like, all right, well, I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah, so I love that. I love the next scene where we cut back to Vegas, and then this is where the cameos start to go fucking crazy. We get to see the Executioner. Howard the Duck shows up again. The Skrulls. There's so many Skrulls that show up here.
Yeah.
Thor gets them to shapeshift as him. The Grandmaster's eating cake, DJing and shit. We get Nebula playing craps with Korg. Like this party scene was dope. So let me get some of your favorite moments from the party sequence.
It's Nebula playing craps.
Yeah.
That jaw had me wild. I was like, hold on, wait a second. Then it's it was Korg basically just chilling and jumping into the pool too. It's like, oh my goodness, this is
he just knocks the shit out of Fury.
Party X. Yeah, this is Party X, with meets Marvel. Like this is dope. This works. This is a very lighthearted, fun episode. I enjoyed it a lot.
Steve, what are your thoughts on the party sequence?
Dude, I love when they first landed and then the Elvis is like there and he's trying to sing.
Which like, is a Skrull, by the way.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, because you see that guy later on in a different shot in like as a Skrull, but he's wearing the Elvis costume. So I think he was just shapeshifted as Elvis
impersonator, which is even better because you're in Vegas.
Exactly right.
So yeah, I love that when he first landed, and then Elvis is like, "Whoa!" And it's kind of funny. Just that whole like sequence and everything was just like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas type moment where everybody was just having fun, enjoying themselves. And I've only been to Vegas once, and I was like, I'm never coming back because I don't have enough money to have fun. Like I didn't have enough money to have fun. I came with like $600, and even still, I was like, all right, look, I was like, everything costs too much money. So I was like, it was just like, unless I'm just a millionaire or something like that, I'll never come back. But seeing people who I guess in a sense have it like that, they just enjoying it and loving the whole ambiance and everything in Vegas. It seemed really fucking fun. I enjoyed that scene a lot. Just the no care in the world. And like I said, it was like the second coming to me of this change of pace. Like everything is about to be so, you know what I'm saying, so much different than these other episodes. And at some points I was like, okay, when the scene gonna shift, when is it gonna shift? But it never shifted. It just was super cool and laid back, and I enjoyed this whole episode. So this was like the realization of everything is gonna be cool in this show.
Yeah,
for this episode.
Party sequence is super fun. Like we talked about before, Darcy and Howard get married. Thor and Jane get tattoos.
Playboy. Right? Oh yeah, the matching tattoos. I was like, yo, not y'all. Oh my goodness.
And Elvis is the one that marries Darcy and Howard.
Right, yeah.
It was wild, but it was funny.
Yeah, man, you got Rocket in there too. Like there's so many great cameos. Like one thing I love about this film is that it's kind of like this weird like coming of age like John Hughes movie with this 1500-year-old man that's acting like a child, and it's also kind of have like elements of The Hangover. Like this next scene where they wake up in the hotel room, it's very much like The Hangover. It's really funny because Rocket's there as well, and Rocket's voiced by Bradley Cooper. So I thought that was fucking hilarious. What did you guys think about that?
For me, oh, go ahead, Steve.
No. Yeah, you good?
Oh, okay. Yeah, for me, like you said, it was very hangover-esque, and I was like, oh, we really doing this, huh? We really doing this. And I'm like, all right, where's everybody? I'm like, hey, Thor, did you and Natalie Portman do the thing? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe open interpretation. And then Maria Hill is knocking. She's like, oh, yeah, it's just me and a friend. And just how Thor was like, hey, friends! And he's like, yeah, that's more than one person.
He calls Rocket Rabbit.
Yeah, he's just like, all right, what is going on? I'm just like, not you trying to hide this. But also the humor of the situation, because you're like, yo, like you said, we might have an alien invasion level threat. We got to take care of this. And they took it seriously. It's like, oh, wait, no, it's not that. I was hanging out. They cool. They're not a threat. And it's like, hey, now you're in a conundrum. It was hilarious. It was fun. Like I said, this episode was just so fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Racket. Bradley Cooper being in the fucking sink.
Right.
It's like hilarious to me. I was just like, dude, this dude just passed out in the sink. It was just a fun time. And it was like, that happened, and it was like, okay, you would think that the party would wrap up or something like that. And it was
party
like,
never stops, bro.
Never stops. We're still in Vegas. We're still on vacation. Keep drinking. Like, next thing you know, you see Drax with the fucking bottle. Like, let's go. Like, it's just they continue to enjoy the party scene, and it's like there's nothing to really stop them, right? Because Odin is in his Odin sleep. Mom is
Heimdall isn't
away.
looking.
Yeah, Heimdall isn't looking. Mom's gone away, and there's no other person there to distract him from it, which would be Loki. There's nobody else there, and then turn around, and then Loki shows up with other frost giants, and it's like.
So let's talk about that. So Maria calls Captain Marvel, and then we cut back to what I'm calling night 2 of the Vegas party. And like you said, Loki shows up, and I thought this was dope, getting to see Loki as a frost giant. He still has the same like type of crown, but it's an ice
his
version of it.
Form.
Yeah,
his true form.
Absolutely loved it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of Loki's design, him showing up, and the fact that him and Thor still ended up being really close friends to where they see each other as brothers? So how did you guys think about that?
I thought the design was great, because this is who he truly is. This is who Loki really is. So this is his real form. I loved it, how massive he was compared to everybody else, and how they teased it in the introduction. They were like, yeah, they don't see eye to eye. Like, oh, it's like, dang. So even though they weren't brothers, that rivalry sense is still there, huh? Then it was like, nah, they best bros. I was like, yeah, this is so right. Like, they are both irresponsible. I love to have fun. Like, let's party, let's get drunk type of folks. It was hilarious. Because later on, we're making the world's Midgard's most giant slingshot. And I'm like, yo, what? Like, yo, this is who I want to party with. Not the Loki, the human form Loki. I want to party with Jotunheim Loki. Like,
one that's not like depressed and needs therapy.
Look at happy Loki.
He's comfortable in his own skin. He's
literally
happy. He's genuinely happy. You know what I'm saying?
You know what this means though? They lied to us. In Loki, they said that all Lokis are meant to be alone. No, they're not, because this Loki is definitely not one who is alone. He has friends.
He could end up alone.
No, he's too good. We are not going to sully his name.
We haven't got there yet, technically.
Yeah.
But like, he just seemed happy. He was himself. He was comfortable. He was there with other people that were like him. And it was just like, oh, I'm having a good time with you know what I'm saying, Thor, and he daps him up. He's like, my brother from another mother. And it's just like, they just seemed like they were just like, even though they weren't quote unquote best friend. I mean, they weren't siblings now. They're like best friends, which is, you know what I'm saying, still what they were. So it's like they're always destined to link together and be, you know what I'm saying, each other's like brother and, you know what I'm saying, best friend and everything like that. So I I thought it was cool as shit. Like it was just dope, you know what I'm saying, seeing him in that form, the frost giant form. And as they got close to each other, and Thor like kind of got on one knee, and it was like, oh shit, he's gonna come up with an uppercut, like a heavy uppercut, and this is where the fight is gonna take place. And it was like, I'm just kidding. And they dope each other up. I thought that was really dope. Like I enjoyed that scene.
Yeah, man, I loved it a lot. Like, I love the fact that they still, even though they were separated across realms, they still found a way to become friends and brothers. So that made me really happy to see. So let's get into one of the biggest moments of this match. Captain Marvel versus Thor. I thought this was dope. I thought it
Party
could. I thought it.
pooper.
Hmm?
No, I said the party pooper.
Yeah, yeah. So I loved that fight. I want to know some of you guys like favorite moments. I can't believe Thor actually destroyed Stonehenge. Like I don't feel like the Thor that we
like,
know
I
would
just
do
gotta
that.
touch it. It's just like, oh yeah, this one's childish. I was really glad that they didn't say like, hey, yeah, Captain Marvel is the all powerful, like she's our trump card. I'm like, nah, Marvel versus Thor is an even matchup. Like they can keep going. Like
At
low
one
key,
point,
even though they said like, hey, yeah, she was holding back, of course, but it's like, yeah, she has to go near final form just to take on a god, and it kind of reset the power scaling that I feel like the MCU had created, and so I was really glad for that. But the fight was so fun because it's like, man, y'all not on the same page. It's just a misunderstanding. But this is hilarious to see y'all just throw punches and just throw blows. And I was like, especially the way
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir, Mjolnir, the way that Captain Marvel learned just exactly how Mjolnir works. Oh, that was funny as hell too. She's like, huh, you're that much of an idiot. You missed me. Boom, right in the back of the head.
in the
like,
back of the head. Boomer hammer or something. What did he say?
Yeah,
Hammerang, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, what is wrong with this guy? Hilarious.
In early on in that fight, I was like, yo, Captain Marvel is beating the dog shit out of like it felt like I was like, yo, is this what it's gonna be like? Is she gonna really? And then it was just more so of like she's winning, Thor's winning, she's winning, Thor's winning, and then like overall it was like I'm just gonna sit more and more on your stomach. But immediately I was like, yo, he punched her from France all the way to the United Kingdom. I was
Right?
like, yo, like I was like, what kind of hit is that?
And
Like,
then she punches him from the UK to Africa, bro.
like, it's like, bro, it was literally freaking the Viltrumite Invincible.
Right?
When he punches him, next thing you know, he's in the freaking mountains. The next thing you know, he's on a train. I was like, it was like literally one of those fights where it was just like, but it was less damage because it's Disney. But it was like literally, it was a very fun fight to watch. And like honestly and truthfully, like in the beginning, I thought that it was gonna stay like that. And I was like, yo, he's about to go to space. Thor's about to go to space jail. That's what I thought we were getting to or whatever, because I thought Captain Marvel was literally just gonna beat the dog shit out of him, because in those first 3 or 4 punches, you were
I'm glad
like,
it didn't
yo.
work out that way.
Yeah.
I'm glad it
I
was
like,
closer
yo.
to a draw.
Yeah, it was closer to a draw. And then he sits the hammer on it. So it's like, I win, haha. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely was like, oh, okay, this is about to play out in a whole different sequence. I thought Thor was going to, space prison or something like that. And we were going to go that range, because I was like, it's every single What If episode is super fast paced. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at the timestamp. I'm like, okay, we got like 12 minutes left. What's he gonna do in space prison? Like I was like, what's going? I was like, damn, this is gonna be crazy. So yeah, but that's what I thought it was going to. But it was definitely fun.
One of my favorite moments from that fight were when they were fighting in the clouds.
Yeah.
And it's like the god of thunder. You're seeing the thunder. You're hearing the thunder with the lightning, with her
it's
light.
like, oh, you're just gonna play. You're just gonna hide in the clouds. It's like, oh, I'm not hiding. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I love that every clash between them brought thunder. So I thought that was really, really dope. Very cinematic as well. So I thought that was really, really fun. So the fight continues, and Maria Hill is ready to just fire nukes on them at this point. And Crossbones wants them to shoot the nukes. And then, but right before that, Jane figures out, oh, well, if you don't want to help me, then, well, no, Darcy says, well, I wish we could just, like, tell his mom. And Jane's like, oh, that's the perfect idea. Well, like, if Thor exists, then there has to be a Heimdall, there has to be a Frigga. So then, and I love this. I love that she got technology and found a way to contact Heimdall, like, off rip. So how did you guys feel about that? Like, something she just came up with, she was able to get some like algorithm or some shit from Solvig, and they were able to build something to where she was able to contact Heimdall. Like, I thought that was sick. What did you guys think?
Yo, Jane Foster's smart as hell. She is smart. This is why she works for Shield. She's a genius. I thought it was pretty dope. And again, shout out to Darcy. Kat Dennings is honestly one of the most helpful secondary characters in Marvel and MCU. She's so flames. But it was just hilarious. Got Heimdall's attention and immediately just beam me up, Scotty. It was about it, and from there, basically just snitching. I'm gonna tell your mom. It was hilarious. You know, like no way they're doing this, especially as the two events are going on. You have Captain Marvel about to go supernova on his ass, and it's like, all right, bring it. And the nukes are about to be dropped at the same time. And of course, like you said, Crossbones is uber excited. It's like, in this universe, Crossbones is actually remains a good guy, and he doesn't lose half of his body.
That we know
count your blessings. That we know. Count your blessings. But it was, I thought it was the uniqueness of it and the change of pace. Again, the tone, the gravitas of the whole situation was real amusing, while matching up with like, yo, they could just possibly kill these two right here, right now. And who's to say that the What If won't have those two get killed? Who's to say it won't happen?
Do you really think the nuke would even work?
I
don't think it would kill either of them. People are
going to die.
I think it would be.
I think they would time it to like when she goes supernova, plus the addition of nuke, the extra force and whatnot could possibly really help give her a boost and take out Thor. Since she's about to just Superman punch KO him, apparently. But I just thought they're really willing to drop a nuke. Just like,
not just it wasn't a populated area.
Nukes, but multiple nukes, knowing that we just about to create a Chernobyl out here. And it's like, hey, it's none of our business. Typical Shield. Hilarious.
Right?
Hilarious.
And all the while that's going on, the party's still going. We got the frost giants like destroying shit in the UK. Like Surtur is trying to holler at the fucking Statue of Liberty.
And like, he fucking melts the arm off.
He melts the arm off. Some of the Loki and the frost giants went to Mount Rushmore and like altered Mount Rushmore. Like I love all of this stuff. I love that they go to Australia, and because Chris Hemsworth is from there, so I thought that was a nice little touch. Like, all this episode was just so much fun, man. There was just so much great shit in this episode. And when Frigga just shows up and Thor's like this little kid, oh, Mom, I was doing my homework.
My homework. The dog ate it.
Yeah, I was teaching a class on cultural
exchange.
Yeah. And it was funny while she's coming down the Rainbow Bridge and he's trying to get people like, yo, my mother
is coming. You have to clean up.
My mother's coming.
We got to clean up.
And everybody's like, Draxman, like, you are the party pooper.
Yeah, you're the party
pooper. Like, yeah. And then it's like, oh, Frigga's coming. She angry. oh yeah, everybody, let's start cleaning. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, this is
Yeah.
the typical like
Bro,
American Pie type
Right.
film. Like it was hilarious.
I enjoyed them all cleaning up because like if you notice when they're cleaning up, they do the you're a Superman fan, Abe. You remember in the Superman movie when he pushes the Eiffel Tower back straight?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the leaning tower of
They're
Pisa. Oh
picking
my
up all the
god.
down. You know what I'm saying? He picking up the shit, and then all of a sudden he pushes the Eiffel Tower back straight, and I'm like, yo, they pay homage to that Superman movie, I think. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I thought
it
that
was
was cool.
hilarious.
But yeah, it's just them. They were all like decided, oh, we better get our shit together and start cleaning up and stuff like that. So it felt like a one of them old 90 movies where they have a house party and mom's
Exactly. Yeah.
coming and let's clean up.
Before mom
Ferris
gets
Bueller,
home.
yeah, Ferris Bueller's Day Off or some shit. Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was just like everybody was cleaning up and rushing to do it. And then what was even crazier was after all that's going on, Captain Marvel shows up and was like, "Hey, here's the stuff you asked for." To the sound, it's like
Which was
everybody,
nice of her.
yeah, everybody's covering for everybody, just like one of those old house party movies and stuff like
And
that.
I love that the
Frigga's
Grandmaster is
scary,
one of the
apparently.
students.
Yeah,
Like the Grandmaster just chilling.
Yeah.
Frigga, a scary woman to have everybody be like, yo.
Dude, it's
I mean,
Odin's
mind you-
wife. Speaking of
Yeah.
that, right? I love the scene where Jane sees her for the first time and she's like, "Hi, Mrs. Odin wife."
Yeah. And then she's drinking that. She's telling like, "Oh, is that shit?
Is that Chardonnay?
Yeah, is that Chardonnay?" She's like, "It's a variant," and I'm like, "Oh, she drinking that good, that godly Chardonnay," you know?
Because
So
I mean,
she's
what
like,
what do
"Yeah,
you call
so-
her, right? What do you
I
call her?
don't
Because
know.
Thor, Odin's son. So it's like Frigga, Odin wife. Like I don't
Odin
know.
wife, Odin
So
spouse.
I don't know. So that was a whole hilarious sequence of Natalie Portman meeting Frigga for the first time, and Frigga just like, all right, spit it out, and she's like, and so this is, and this is, and I was like, oh my goodness, you are really enjoying your presence amongst gods right now, amongst deities. Like, okay,
I mean, why not,
Okay,
right?
Natalie. Right? When you're in Rome, you know.
Yeah, and Thor almost gets away with it until he calls Mjolnir and is just covered in paint and like party beads, someone's
And-
underwear. Like,
And he's like, ah, damn it.
yeah, man, this episode was just, it was a lot of fun. Like right at the end, we get that really cool moment between Thor and Jane where he asks her out, and we think finally we're gonna get a what if episode that ends on a high note. It's gonna be all sunshines and rainbows. The Watcher's like, a world restored, love blossoming, as children, both human and Asgardian, would say together they lived happily ever after. And then a fucking portal opens up, the fucking Ultron Legion comes out, and then we get the reveal. Now for the rest of us, like for those of us that are in like the media space, we saw the poster with Ultron Vision on it like weeks ago, right? Weeks ago, and we've been speculating, well, how does this work, right? Is this the situation where in one universe Ultron successfully transferred his consciousness into the Vision, used the knowledge of the Mind Stone to find all of the other stones before Thanos could, and it has subjugated his world and is now going throughout the entire multiverse to rid the multiverse of humanity, which Ultron believes is the sickness to all of creation. So this is going to be sick. So Abe, I want to toss it to you first. What was your thoughts on this ending with Thor and Jane, the Watcher's reaction to Ultron showing up, and the reveal?
It basically told us how major of an event this is going to be, because a Watcher throughout his whole journey is like, look, I mean, this is how stuff plays out, and even if I want to, I can't, I don't interfere, and this is what it will play out to be. Especially we saw that a lot with the Doctor Strange episodes. Like, this is what you were warned several times. People tried to warn you, you ignored. This is the end result. He knew that result would come.
Yeah.
But this one to be like, and here we go, and on a happy ending, it's like, hey, happy ending episode, awesome. And it's like, wait, what? I guess that's not what it's going to be. It's like, yo. So again, I know Rob had asked this last week. Is it like we'll see the Watcher interact with people? And I said, not unless it is to build the team. Looking like that's going to be the case because he's going to have to build the team because this is not supposed to be happening. This is something that he must actually prevent. And the reveal too is like, hey, that's Ultron. Wait, that's Vision under Ultron. So it's like, all right, we know that it's technically Ultron who took over, but it's just like fun to be like, yo, he took over Vision's body and he got and his suit with the stone. I'm like, yo, that's better than the gauntlet, baby. Like, look how pimped up.
Facts, bro.
What?
Like, yo, if Thanos showed up like that, like, yeah, I got that thing on me instead of a glove. They would have to take off armor. Oh, he wouldn't have lost. That's his
Vision's
fault.
made of part vibranium. He has the Mind Stone. Then he's wearing an Ultron suit, which we can only assume is also made out of vibranium, that he's using virtually as an infinity gauntlet in a suit. Like, my girlfriend fucking lost it when she saw that shit.
Bro. Like, so with that whole scene, so you get the Ultron, the Ultrons are all coming out. And if you remember in the Avengers 2, Ultron is only like in a certain robot, and then it's like boom, he goes to another one. But this one, all of the robots lit up red, and it's like, yo, he's controlling all of them at one fucking time.
Mind Stone.
With the Mind Stone, I was like, that's dope. And so my theory is though, like, the Watcher sees all, right? The Watcher sees all. There's nothing that catches him off guard because he sees all. The first time in 6 episodes now, the Watcher blinked. And when he blinked, he said, wait, what? So no matter what, you see all, right? But if you blink, no matter what, you missed at least a quarter of a second, a millisecond, whatever. And the second that he blinked, he was like, wait, what? And it was like him missing whatever he missed in that blink. I think that's what fucking spiraled everything out of control. It's like, damn, he can't even fucking blink without, you know what I'm saying, things going into chaos. Because the second he thought happily ever after, he, like, if you watch it, because I watched it like 3 times, and first I watched it, and of course I watched my Easter egg video, and they're like, oh, he blinked, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, maybe that blink is what was enough to just cause chaos in that whole multiverse.
So, a question for you guys, and then we'll do final thoughts for the episode. How do you think he got the Soul Stone? Because if Ultron successfully transferred his consciousness into the Vision, this is before his relationship with Wanda. So the speculation that he sacrificed Wanda, it can't be true unless things are really different in this Ultron's universe, where Wanda was like an Avenger or a part of the team a lot earlier on, right? So how do you guys think he got the Soul Stone? Did he make someone sacrifice someone else?
His creator.
Tony Stark.
What if Vision?
Yeah, but it has to be someone. It has to be someone you love. Like, Ultron isn't capable of love.
Ultron is capable of love, but Vision might have. You got to exploit Vision's emotions and play it up.
But if we're if what we think happened, Vision never had a consciousness, right? Because when you look at the events of Age of Ultron, like, Vision's body was in a cradle and it was being uploaded with Ultron's consciousness. So Vision was never really there. Like, a Vision was never created. Because at that point, at that point, it was Ultron and Jarvis together.
Yeah.
I maybe in that world, it's a world where technology is more sentient, and Jarvis, loved Tony Stark because they were so close, and Ultron made him kill Tony Stark.
It makes so much sense to me because Tony Stark has died in every
Yeah,
timeline.
yeah, he has. Like,
He's
you
died in
know,
every
this
timeline.
makes sense.
I
Yeah, that's
love Tony
probably what
Stark.
happened.
That's my creator. That's my best friend, my buddy. Tony Stark is, you know what I'm saying? I think Tony Stark was sacrificed, and that's how you get it.
But it would be interesting to find out because yes, like all right, Ultron has a way around it, but how did he exploit Vision to do it? You know, and I'm definitely curious to that, and I love how that episode is not really going to be built upon. We're not going to get the full episode until 2 weeks from now. You know, we're getting the Gamora as Mad Titan first, and it's like we'll probably get another cameo at the end to connect it. But it's also going to be funny because then at this point, what is the timeline? You know, so are we saying that while we say the Watcher sees all, it's like when you think about that, you're saying that his mind is just that sentient where while he's narrating one world to us, he can also narrate another one to us, or
I think that's
is
what
this
this episode was trying
afterwards?
to tell us. Like, he's not as omnipotent as we think he is, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think, and I could be wrong, but I think he can only look into one universe at a time. Because if he really could look at multiple universes, he would have
He with the
seen
senses.
Ultron Vision already. He would have gotten some type of inkling. Because, I mean, he has all 6 Infinity Stones. The Infinity Stones are a part of creation, they were created with the Big Bang. That's definitely something he would sense. So I love
But
that they're.
then I just realized this also makes it brings it to question. As far as we know, the Infinity Stones don't work from different universe to different universe.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, as far
how
as
is
we know,
this?
yeah.
So that
How
means
is
he's
this?
in this universe.
Yo, yeah. How is he able to do that here? And is this going to change the game? The strength of the like? Are you basically retconning what Loki told us, implied to us?
So here's the thing. Do you think it's possible to do it only when you have all 6? Because with the power of the snap, which is essentially having the power of creation, I mean, maybe you can do anything, especially with like Ultron's knowledge. What if he figured out how to do it? Maybe each stone individually can't work in
Yeah,
different
but they
universes, but all
also
together, maybe he
no,
changed.
they also played on it how in different universes the gauntlets don't work.
That's true.
Well,
He ain't using the gauntlet. He using the.
but yeah,
Yeah, but
so it's just like what makes him special? Did he even break the code? Did he manage to? Because keep in mind something that they've also implied about the Soul Stone constantly is that there are voices in there. You know,
right, right.
like they mentioned. I think they mentioned that in the What If Zombies with Vision. I may be wrong, or maybe I was thinking of WandaVision because I restarted WandaVision, but I'm like they've always teased like, yo, that Soul Stone, there's more to it than what we've been shown so far. And I'm hoping, I'm looking forward to it, and hoping that maybe that's a reason for why it's working in this dimension. Because unless you're telling us that, yeah, no, the stones can work, then that changes a few things for sure.
Yeah, I'm
It
glad you brought that
feels.
up because that's a really good point. Because, like you said, Loki told us, like, yeah, outside of your universe, these stones are pretty much paperweights. They might as well be
Mm-hmm.
fucking marbles. Like, they're not useful at all. So it's like,
Because
how.
remember who has an Infinity Gauntlet in one of those universes right now?
That's true, right? So, I don't know. It's going to be really interesting.
It, I know I saw like this theory that says the Watcher, when he's in the universe and he's in the sky, that he's more so like black. He's see through. He's virtual, and there are scenes where he's more humanized.
Yeah,
And
he can travel through different planes of reality, and
mhm,
when we see him like going to like that prism, he's coming into our reality where like he can actually interact instead of us just being able to see him.
yeah, and they're saying when he goes more humanized, he's letting his guard down. That's what
Potentially.
that's what the theory that I've heard is that when he's more humanized, he's letting his guard down, which is why he blinked, because he's never blinked in any episode, and then come to find out he's blinking.
And he's seen some shit.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? This is a person that's up 24/7, watching everything 24/7, and then now I'm blinking. Like there, and it's the more you.
Who's to say there are 24 hours and 7 days in the universe? Who's to say that, sir? You are applying your Earth-like tendencies upon the natural order of the galaxy. You are imposing, you imperialist.
That is fair. That is very fair.
Very true.
In this infinite time, he's blinking. You know what I'm saying? And there's like in this, because there's other times where you see his actual skin, but he's still kind of, see through. You still kind of, so it's like in that one instance, it was like he was not see through. He was not, you know what I'm saying? It was more of a humanoid form of the Watcher in a sense. And it's like that one, instance where you're like, oh, this is actually a happy ending. This is actually something that's cool that's happening. He let his guard down, and then boom, Ultron exists.
Yeah, man, this episode was crazy. Like, I'm excited to see like how they're gonna do this Gamora episode. Like, how does she become the Mad Titan? Like, I hope it's we talked about this before, but I hope it's something similar to how Thanos becomes the Mad Titan. I hope that it's just Gamora going through what happened to them on Titan. I think that would be dope. And then to recruit her to try to take out Ultron, I think that's going to be sick in itself. So these last 2 episodes of What If, they're going to be insane. And I can't wait to see it all come together. So, Abe, I want to toss it to you first. Any final thoughts on What If episode 7?
Man, it was a really well put together episode. The ending just shook things up rightfully, and like we had mentioned before, it basically one of the things we had always alluded to is that it confirms that all of these stories are going to be connected to each other. We had always been theorizing that. Always, it made sense that it would happen, but what a way to do it, by saying like, hey, in episode 7, yeah, this playboy who's not supposed to be here is here, and even the Watcher's confused. And then wait, we still got one more story to tell you, and then we'll come back and address the situation. Love it. Gets me so much more hyped to see, all right, so what are we getting with Mad Titan Gamora? And then how is she going to play a role in the Ultron Vision season finale? So very well done. Super excited to be able to watch it. Appreciate y'all, Marvel. Y'all have other issues y'all need to take care of, but thank you for providing us with quality when it comes to your comic book adaptations, for sure.
Steve, final thoughts?
My final thoughts is this was a fun episode. It's not going to be my favorite in a sense. Like, if we rank the episodes, I'll, bottom 3 or something like that. But it's the last moments that really take over. It pretty much hijacks the entire episode. The entire episode is fun. It's, what I'm saying? It's all these things that happen in the entire episode. And then the last 30 to 45 seconds of the episode is what everybody is talking about, what is everybody is speculating and things like that. And it hijacks the entire episode. That last 45 seconds of that episode changes this episode from, like, like one of those ones where you just was like, this is just an okay episode in my bottom tier, and it puts it like midway now, because just that last like speculation of what you think is going to happen. Ultron in this fucking perfect form, in less than a better word, perfect form Cell, in a sense. Like, it's just like
pretty much
we're about to see this, and I'm just hyped about it. I really want to see where it's going, because I've heard Abe talk a bunch of times on other, on ItMob a few times. We deserved a better Ultron and stuff like that. So it looked like we're about to see this, and now I'm excited to see what we're about to see.
Yeah, that's another reason why I'm really excited, because again, I think this is Marvel. Like, you know what? We made a misstep with Ultron. He should have been a much bigger threat. Let's fix this. Let's have a little fun, get a super OP version of Ultron, and just rock it in What If. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun because, like Abe, I am not a fan of Ultron in that Age of Ultron movie. That is not my Ultron. That is some I don't know what
At
that is.
all.
It's not my Ultron. My Ultron was made by Hank Pym from the Age of Ultron comic, from all of the other comic runs where Ultron is literally almost a force of nature. Like Ultron has killed the X-Men, the Avengers, the members of the Fantastic Four. Like it's called Age of Ultron for a reason, right?
Mm.
And they just did not do a good job on any level whatsoever with that movie. But again, very excited for What If, and I'm hoping that they bring back, Ultron in the MCU. In the comics, Ultron has always found a way to come back, and Kevin Feige is a real comic fan. I think he will find some way to bring Ultron back, maybe for a TV series, right? Maybe there's a sequel or like a TV series for one of the other Avengers, and it would just work to have Ultron, right? I don't think they would do this because this is way too much, like way too much for Ironheart.
Yeah,
But could you imagine Ironheart versus Ultron? Like,
man.
Ooh.
like bringing in Ultron again, like but in Ironheart, and like keeping Ultron in the series, but just reintroducing him again on
Yeah,
Ironheart. I think that would be
th-
interesting,
I'm
but they
with
won't do
you.
it.
I'm with you because as Steve mentioned, Ultron is one of the most disappointing things to me about the MCU, and it's something that I can't let go. And so, one of the things I loved about the Disney Marvel shows, and then with What If, was that they are doing. I've mentioned this on this platform before. They are doing a great job of retconning some of their mistakes, or in the case of Trevor and the Mandalorian, further expanding, like, yeah, hey, this was actually purposeful. We addressed this years ago. Let's remind y'all. But we saw with Falcon and Winter Soldier, they did Baron Zemo better than how he was presented to us in Civil War. And then we're seeing in my opinion, we're going to see Ultron be done better, and to bring him back in the MCU as his true and threat would be so fun. And again, doesn't need to be a major event. It could be a side event, like maybe an Ironheart film. That's what we get. She has to battle up against Ultron. Don't need to make it like, hey, we need to get all the Avengers assembled again. Just we could tone it down. That's fine, but give me the badass that is Ultron, not this, oh, woe is me. I have no strings on me except for my father figure that I adore. So Tony, why don't you accept me? It's just unnecessary. It was pointless. It was
Yeah,
pointless.
it did not work for me. I'm like, no, this is not Ultron. Ultron should be. You should look at Ultron and look like this dude is an android god, not a petulant child that was created from Tony Stark tech. That's not what I
Mm.
want. You know what I mean? But again, hopefully, I think What If is going to do a really good job of giving us a good Ultron, and hopefully they bring back Ultron in a future MCU TV show or a series. This episode was a lot of fun. Can't wait to talk
Ultron the
about the rest of
series.
the, huh?
That Ultron the series would be crazy.
That'd be wild.
Right? Give me an Ultron series. I
Yeah,
would die
like
for that.
like Loki, but just Ultra. Oh, that would that would be crazy.
Oh man, that would be sick. Hey, where can the people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at Prince underscore A Lawal. That is Prince underscore ALAWAL. Also on Twitch. Um, Follow Osa and A Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Osa underscore A Podcast. If you love sports, definitely check us out. New episode dropping Sunday morning. Um, you can find me on Inside the Mind of a Blurred. We have new episodes for interview series popping up in the next coming weeks. Very excited to be doing that with Steve. My Naka Mixer, definitely check them out. New episode dropping tomorrow. Uh, and while it is about to be midnight on the East Coast, just want to wish fellow mob member, the wholesome protagonist, Crystal, a happy birthday. It's her birthday in about 40 minutes. I see that we're not at midnight yet, but just to say it now. Um, Also, Check out Anime Lately. Careful for spoilers. Spicy Lady Gaming on Twitch. Check them out. I'm all over the place, here, there, everywhere, and I'm very active on Twitter. So holla at me.
Steve?
Yeah, you can follow me at ScubaSteve1428. Find me on ItMob, Inside the Mind of a Blurred. We just dropped our 1 year anniversary podcast, which was on Wednesday. Yeah, 1 year in. And we got, like Abe said, we got a bunch of interviews coming up. Skylar and Scuba Steve podcast will be dropping on Sunday. We have My Knock Mixer that's just dropping with the birthday girl Crystal. And then we got Dads of Sports now is a thing that we're doing right now. They're trying to do that where me and Alpha are doing some sports related things. Follow all of us, follow all of our different YouTubes and the gamers and everything like that. Follow their gaming, their Twitches and things like that. Follow Abe at Osa and Abe. And yeah, man, we're just trying to do things.
Yeah, man. Follow all of these great creators, like they've already mentioned. We are going to be doing a Black Widow giveaway. So follow the pinned tweet on Twitter, and you will get, it's not pinned anymore. I'll have to pin it again. But follow the instructions. All you got to do is make sure you're following all of our accounts on Twitter. And then all you have to do after that is just tweet at us using our hashtags. I just put it all in the chat. Tweet at us using the hashtags that we have right there. And then you can win a digital code of Black Widow. I just got the Steelbook. Looks amazing. I love the movie. Can't wait to see it. And we want to do a bunch of giveaways for you guys here on the channel. So yeah, very easy to enter the giveaway. Just make sure you're following us. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And just send us a tweet. Or you can reply to the live stream tweet. And just use the hashtags. Let us know how you like the show. And you'll be entered to win the giveaway. We'll announce the winners on next week's episode. And I can't wait to give that away. Abe has some pops coming in the works that we're going to be giving away on the channel. We're going to be giving away on Patreon for those members that support us in every way. So really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much to absolutely everyone in chat for coming to the show tonight and every other show that we have. Really, really appreciate you guys. We do this live so that we can talk to you as we talk about all of this nerd shit that we love, man. Only 2 more episodes of What If. Kind of sad, but very excited to get to that Ultron Vision episode. It's going to be lit. So yeah, make sure you follow me on Twitter at JBExclusive. Head over to carefulforspoilers.com. Find all of our latest articles. We just opened up a comic book review tab. Steve has been doing a couple of reviews. Chris Conkling from Popaholics, he has done a couple of reviews. He actually wrote a review for a Spider-Man One More Day that we're going to be releasing pretty soon. So that can tell you everything you need to read before watching Spider-Man No Way Home. So yeah, got a lot of content coming for you guys. Again, really, really appreciate you guys being here. And until the next one, see you guys.